Hi, everyone. I got a great question this week from an entrepreneur who said, how do I manage the tension between building a business and actually having balance? Great question. So we're going to unpack that. And this is obviously going to be very relevant if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, but also for professionals, for a lot of us who are trying to navigate managing our career and also trying to have a great family life actually as well. And so if that kind of resonates with you, you're going to want to stick around, get a pen and paper, and I'm going to give you 3 very practical ways of how do you actually navigate it. My name is Dr. Karen, if we haven't met. I'm the co-founder of a company called DK Leadership. We work with organizations all around the world, every single sector, small business to very large companies. And we really teach leadership emotional intelligence to really help leaders in businesses, but also families as well. And so this is a topic that is very dear to my heart, and I will be sharing with you with what I have done, with what we encourage our team actually to do as well. Okay, so 3 steps, everybody. Here we go. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get really clear on your goals, business-wise and career, professional and personal. So we lead a few different masterminds. We have a leadership academy. We do all kinds of master classes and courses. And so I teach this in a variety of different places, but just very quick high level. You have 2 different systems, right? You've got a business system and you've got a family system. And you're going to have goals in the business side or professionally, and you're going to have goals on the personal side. It's really important to get clarity on both of these. Get really clear, because if we're not clear, we're going to feel like we're bumping all over the place, and we're going to feel very reactive. And what you want to do is be very clear and very strategic as you're making decisions. And so get really clear. What are your goals and your ambition on the career side, the business, and what are your goals on the personal side? And if you're like, Karen, well, I don't really exactly know how to do that, here are a few resources. Is my book, The 3 Chairs. If you haven't seen it, you can turn to page 125. One of the exercises I do I have a women's entrepreneur mastermind. I get all the women entrepreneurs to do this, but we also do this on our Leadership Academy side as well. It's an exercise called the 6 Ps, and these are 6 different areas that are really important, especially on the personal side, to get clarity in terms of what your goals are. There's 6 Ps, and I've talked about this on some of the other videos as well. But in terms of your goals around purpose, career, profit and finances, your people and relationships, your play and your hobbies, and also your physical and emotional well-being. So with the Women Entrepreneur Mastermind, for example, I get all the women to clarify their goals according to the 6 Ps. And so I get the women entrepreneurs to do this. On our Leadership Academy, with the companies that we serve, I get organizations and teams to do exactly the same thing. So you want to get really clear. What are the goals that we're actually chasing? How do we want to kind of create this culture, both within the organization and actually at home as well? And give an example. One of our members is part of the Women Entrepreneur Mastermind. She said to me after, she's like, Karen, this has given me so much clarity. I basically went through my goals. I went through my 6 Ps. And it became clear that I needed to maybe let go of one of my businesses. She had 3 different businesses, and she realized that she was actually doing too many, because once she had it, she saw it kind of all mapped out. That actually gave her the clarity. Just that one exercise gave her the clarity in terms of with what she needed to do. So you want to get really clear on your professional goals, your personal goals, as well as the business. And the business, we do it a little bit different on the business side. We get companies and teams to still use the 6 Ps to really kind of help them in terms of really igniting their culture, making sure that they're going to qualify for the best places to work and the best manager awards, because when they apply those 6 Ps, they're going to be hitting all those markers. But when it comes to goals, we actually do the goal setting a little bit different with companies. I know a lot of companies will use KPIs. We actually recommend OKRs. We really love that as a framework. And so we really get, again, entrepreneurs to get clarity in terms of their business goals, get clear on your personal goals, and that's going to be kind of number 1. Okay, so you got to get clear. Because once you have clarity, then all of a sudden, then that kind of starts, it's going to impact in terms of your decision making. It will impact your balance. And that really is what the question was about, of how can you reconcile these different goals that may feel like they're actually in competition with each other, but how can you kind of go after both of them and actually have balance. So I'm going to get to that in a second. And we have by the way, we have a fabulous, we've got lots of free scorecards just to help people in terms of unpack this. And there's one that we have that I think you would highly value on well-being and balance. And so if you don't have that yet, just right below balance, and somebody from our team will actually send that to you. It'll be a great way for you just to kind of really see how balanced actually are you. Okay, so that's a great free resource as your kind of like your next step. Okay, so the first one is you're going to get clarity on the business goals, you get clear on the personal goals. The second step, everybody, is you need to get clear on your values. And the values are the game changer. When I've made a lot of different decisions in my own career about whether or not I should take an opportunity, whether or not I should say yes to this job or yes to this contract, or yes to a client, I go back to my values, and I have the same values in basically it's these 5 core values that I make decisions accordingly. And there are times in my life where a great business opportunity will will come, but it doesn't match my values. It's not in alignment, and I will say no to things. And I can think of many times in my career where colleagues are like, what? You're saying no to that? I can think of a time, this would have been about 10 years into my career. I had a really phenomenal opportunity in media, actually. And I was really humming and hawing about whether or not to do it. And I asked 5 people in my life in terms of whether or not I should say yes to it. And 4 of them said, absolutely, you should say yes. From a career perspective, it was a no-brainer. But there was one person that said, I don't think that's a good idea. And you know who that person was? This is why you have to sometimes it's helpful to ask other people. It was my mother. My mother who does not care about my career accolades. She does not care about, how much our company is growing. All my mother cares about, I love her to bits, is my wellness. Okay. And make sure that my stress is low and that I'm taking care of in terms of myself and my marriage and my family. So she's like my balance referee, making sure that I'm really making decisions accordingly. She goes, Karen, I don't know if that you should say yes to that. She didn't tell me no, but she did say, you need to go back to your values. And so I did. I went back to my values. And when I looked at my values, I realized that this career opportunity, although on the outside seemed amazing, it didn't match. And I courageously said no to it. And I remember saying no to it going, oh my goodness, did I just make a horrible mistake? And about 6 months later, I got more information about that job, and I had people coming up to me later saying, you made a really good decision around saying no to that. And so that was hard. That was hard. I remember after I said no to it, there was a sense of peace because I was making decisions that was according to my values, and it was actually also according in terms of my some of my personal goals. And so that's kind of be your next step. The third one is kind of a little bit around that, which is, have courage, be courageous. Courage is a choice, right? Courage is an action, and be courageous to make decisions according to your values. Okay, make decisions, to make the choice to be courageous, to make decisions according to your values. As long as you're clear on your values and your goals, everything will start kind of making a little bit more sense. And the fourth one is, and this is one that I thought of when I was actually, giving this advice to this one person this past week, is really understand that there's different life stages. So if you have followed me here on YouTube, and by the way, if you haven't followed, definitely make sure you follow so you get notified with other videos, and be sure to check out lots of our other videos that we have. But if you know me and a little bit of my background, you know that married for almost 25 years. I've got these amazing husband, great kids, 2 teenagers. And I made decisions differently as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. Decisions are different now versus when my kids were little. And when they were really little, I worked part-time. I did not have the ambition at that time to build and grow a huge company. What I wanted balance, and I wanted to have control over my schedule, and I wanted to work part-time. And that's how I designed my first business, was to be really, really simple, so I could actually really be present with my kids when they were little. And then as they went into school and I had actually had a lot more time, I just kept on redesigning the company to accommodate it. And then when they went into high school and there was even actually more free time, that's when we actually really started to grow, and that's when we really started to scale globally. And so it wasn't always the thought to kind of grow and scale at the very beginning. The goal was really to making sure, like, I wanted to create impact and I wanted to make sure that I have a sense of balance. But as the kids got a little bit older and they didn't need me as much, I was able to reshape and redesign the company and hire more people so that I could make sure that I've got the balance in place while I'm actually able to really kind of properly grow and scale. And so I encourage, for a lot of you who are entrepreneurs, you don't have to do everything right now. You can kind of earmark it in terms of different seasons. And this season of my life, when the kids are little and they need me to be a little bit more available, then I'm going to design it this way. And when they don't need me, I'm going to design it this way. And so, think of, there's different life stages in business, and there's also different life stages in life. And so you just kind of want to be gracious with yourself. And as long as, again, you're clear on your goals, and you're clear on your values, your decision making will become quite clear. But it's when those two pieces are not so clear that people feel like they're just very reactive, or they're looking at with what other people are doing. Try not to look at other people. Try not to pay attention to the noise. Get clear for yourself and with what success looks like for you. And as long as you can make that your guiding light, things will start falling into place. So hope you've enjoyed. If you've got a topic that you would like me to cover, let us know. Write it down below. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube and you watch our other videos. And like I said, if you want to get this balanced scorecard to kind of just see how you're doing, write down below balance, and somebody from our team will send it to you.